And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gurren Otaku Council. As always, I'm your host, Ace.
And I'm your host, McMillian.
And we are back for another week of anime with episode 21. But as always, if you'd like to join the council and become a member, then make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. And with that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody, we're back for another week here. Hope you guys had a good week. I had a great week. And we're going to hop in straight into some council announcements, everybody. So, for our first council announcement we have here for today, the My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, the movie has been announced. Me personally, I have no idea what this anime is, but our friend McMillian here has seen season 1, so McMillian, tell us a little bit about it.
I have seen one season, and therefore I am not an expert. But I'll tell you that it is a funny little isekai. Basically, it focused on this girl who was basically a shut-in, played way too many video games, and somehow gets reincarnated into her favorite light novel / dating simulator version of the game, but as the villain and not the playable character. And basically, she has to navigate differently than the villain character did, so she doesn't end up getting killed and or sealed away. And the first season was actually pretty funny. It had some also nice little heartfelt moments as well, because there's a character she left behind in her old life that somehow is able to reconnect with her. So if you're looking for a somewhat light 12 episode, I believe it has a second season 2 now, so maybe 24 episode show that has good comedy and a decent amount of heart, I recommend it. And I was very surprised to hear it was getting a movie. So I may watch second season just to see what this movie could be about. But I don't know. It's an enjoyable show. Nothing I would say to necessarily write home about. But if you were just looking to throw something on, I would recommend it.
All right, sounds good. Moving on from there, the One Piece film Red is scheduled for August 6th to release in Japan. Once again, I mentioned earlier that I did not expect this movie to be coming out this soon. So as a One Piece fan, I'm happy. So hopefully we get a Western release here. Hopefully maybe by December or early 2023, if that, since it's come out in August. So hopefully we don't have to wait that long for it to come to the West. Mm-hmm. But also some more One Piece news. Episode 1014 has been delayed for the third consecutive week in a row. Everybody, go check up on your One Piece fans. We out here struggling right now. Us anime, at least the animes only. We're out here struggling right now. We'll get by slowly but surely. Though we'll get by. But at this point, I just need Toei to say something. Tell us what's going on. Why is the delay still here?
I wonder if they're using this delay or like the excuse of them getting hacked to be like, all right, let's try and create some distance between us and the manga as much as we can before people start writing. I mean, considering the manga and the anime are now currently within the same arc. I don't know how many chapters apart. But
we are in the same arc. But two, I know for a fact that they're at the end of the Wano arc in the manga now. But we're nowhere. I ain't gonna say nowhere near the chapters, but we should be far enough to where
that shouldn't be
an issue, because normally One Piece takes, regular scheduled breaks at least once a year, stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like that was an issue. They would have did something about that by now. But maybe the hack at Toei was more
severe.
Yeah, more severe than we thought. And
somebody deleted an episode.
and but they ain't got it in their backup file like that Pixar movie. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's wild. But yes, maybe it's more severe than we thought. I just need Toei to come out and say something, give us an update when we can expect it. Like, just don't leave us in the dark, because it's been 3 weeks in a row now. So I just tell us something. At least even if it's not a release date, just tell us what the hell going on.
Yeah.
So moving on from there, many of you may have known that today was the final episode of Attack on Titan, final season part 2. But however, it is not over with, and the final part of the final season for Attack on Titan has been announced for 2023, and I disagree.
Same. They should have made us wait longer for the second core. I feel
agree.
like, especially with what they ended off on today, because guarantee you half the people going right now are going to just start to buy the last few volumes of Attack on Titan, if not just find somewhere to read the last couple of chapters. Considering that it's only 9 chapters left, so I was fully expecting them to be like, all right, last thing is a movie, because I'm like, all right, that's about 9. I mean, as much chapters as they covered in the Demon Slayer movie, which I think was around 7 or 8. I feel like you could probably do that with you could cover 9 with a movie.
Okay.
Especially if a decent amount of it might be action, considering that they got to fight these Titans now. There's no way.
Yeah, no, I'm right along with you. You know, we waited all this time for the final season to finally come back, and then just for the fact that we've been airing the final season for about 2 to 3 years now, and now you're saying I have to wait another at least half a year just to get the rest of the ending that we should have gotten now. It's just Mappa is doing too many projects at once. They just need to calm down on all the projects they're accepting. Let's finish one project before we move to the next one. All right, let's do that,
or at least restrict yourself to 2 at a time or something. Because if I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere that the team that is currently handling Attack on Titan isn't even like their premier team, like isn't even like the premier animation team.
Yeah. Okay.
Because whenever they got the deal for this to do this, I think they were working on the JJK movie or something like that. Like premier, their main animators and stuff like that
was on the movie. Yeah. So I mean, I can only assume the reason why we didn't get the full part 2 for this season of Attack on Titan was due to the fact that Mappa has committed to animating so many different animes already, so they just didn't have time to do the whole rest of the season for Attack on Titan. But
yeah, there's other deliverables I gotta wait for, because in the summer we supposed to be getting Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise, I guess, which is both made by them.
And then somewhere down the line we're also getting Villainess Saga by them as well. So
I forgot they took up that season 2 as well.
Yeah, they took up that as well. So I really, like you said, I just wish they would have pushed it back so we got everything at once. But now we have to wait again.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, Attack on Titan fans, we've been waiting a long time.
A long time. So, I mean, at this point, guys, you might want to, mute Attack on Titan at this point so you can steer clear of all the spoilers, because it's going to be hard to avoid them for this next half a year. So just be safe out there, Attack on Titan anime only fans. Just be safe out there and try to avoid spoilers as best as you can. And so moving on from there, moving on to our last council announcement we have here for today. So I don't know if anybody has seen this news, but apparently via some third parties, Crunchyroll is ending their free episodes subscription type situation going on. It wasn't a subscription, but Crunchyroll offers a service where you could go and watch episodes for free on this service, but now it's ending.
Yeah, so it would used to be if you didn't have an account, you could make one. And the only thing is, you would have ads. You couldn't watch it ad free.
Correct.
But it seems like after this merger with Funimation, they're getting rid of that option altogether, which I find interesting because I believe Funimation also has a version where you can look at stuff if you're not subscribed. It's just that if you're subscribed, you can see the newest episodes as soon as they come out. I don't
recall. I know Crunchyroll had that, but as far as I remember, Funimation was always a subscription service. I don't recall if they had free episodes or not.
Usually, from what I know, I don't think they had ads, or if they did, I'm not sure what their thing was. But I think at one point in time, they did have a version where you could look at the stuff. But unless you were subscribed, you couldn't look at the newest dubbed episode or the newest episode that came out or something like that.
Well, I'm saying, but I know Crunchyroll does that, what you just explained. But I'm saying I don't recall Funimation ever having that. Yeah,
I remember. I think it was at one point. I'm not 100% sure when they stopped, but I guess due to the fact that right now subscriptions are the things driving streaming services.
Yeah,
I think that might be why this is happening. I just think. I just think it's a step in the wrong direction.
I disagree, because if they're going to be shutting down Funimation, majority of all the Funimation users will be going and getting a Crunchyroll subscription, as well as with everything now going to Crunchyroll, new subscribers was going to come naturally anyways as well. I just think, me personally, this was supposed to be a step forward to help reduce some piracy, but now they're getting rid of free episodes as well. This might end up boosting it as well slightly. So
no, I agree with that sentiment. I'm just saying the reasoning I think they're doing it is to hopefully drive up subscriber count. I just don't think that is the smartest thing.
And I feel what I'm saying is, me personally, I think subscriber count was going to go up anyways. Saying.
I don't think you're incorrect about that, because the fact is, the matter is, whoever has a Funimation account, the moment Funimation ends or whatever, like whenever that may be, I'm pretty sure the people with a Funimation account were just going to go get a Crunchyroll account.
Because I already made my Crunchyroll account. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like I said, maybe not everybody would have made the switch over, but I'm pretty sure majority of the people from Funimation would have switched over to Crunchyroll. As long as they're not
raising the prices, because right now the basic Crunchyroll subscription is the same price as a Funimation one. Mm-hmm. As long as Crunchyroll isn't increasing the subscription fee, then I would imagine that. So if you're subscribed to Funimation, you just be like, oh, it's the same price. Let
me just go over here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we can only hope, because I mean, right now Sony has a small monopoly on anime in the West right now. They're really their only other competitor. Their only other competitor right now is Netflix, and I think does Amazon do anime? I don't know if they do anime. Or
not. They were the original people to watch Vinland Saga on. I think that might still be the case, because I don't think there's any. We just know Mappa's animating the second season, but I think it's still. Amazon is still where you need to go to watch it. They also have a couple of other stuff that I've heard is good, like Dororo, which I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but people have mentioned it, and I've seen some clips that make me want to watch it. And Banana Fish. And they also have the new Evangelion. Oh, they have the Evangelion series and the new movie retellings as well. Okay. So Amazon got some stuff, but not a lot. Yeah.
So they're their only competitors, and they don't do anime much. Netflix does it more than Amazon does, but nobody does it as much as Crunchyroll and Funimation. So that's what the whole platform is based upon. So I mean, I don't know. I would hope they do the right thing and not increase the subscription fee. But at this point, ain't no telling what the hell Sony gonna do with Crunchyroll.
Yeah, we just know that that is now the premier spot if you basically want access to a huge library of anime.
Correct. Well, all right. So that's the end of our council announcements. We're going to hop into our first anime for today, everybody. And we're going to be discussing the Case Study of Vanitas, episode 24, His Wish. I want to preface this with saying that this is the last episode for season 1 of Case Study of Vanitas. And it was a proper send off in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with what we learned / major events. So we hop into this episode with the climax of the battle between Noe and Vanitas, as well as the battle with Mikhail as well. The battle's going smooth, in my opinion. Vanitas did not end up killing Noe, thankfully. But basically, what really happened after Mikhail saw that Vanitas couldn't kill Noe, he just lost his fucking mind and started going crazy with the Book of Vanitas, or his Book of Vanitas. And
it was just to preface, he tried to have Dom do what she was originally being told to do, was like jump, but she somehow broke the mental shackle, and he was like, well, if you're not gonna do this shit, come on, guys. And he has these other vampires on standby, but apparently him causing them to come out and control that many at the same time made him go berserk. Combined with his tantrum, allowed his Book of Vanitas to go berserk in some way, shape, or form. It was very interesting.
Correct. Which didn't turn, basically made him go berserk as well, because he went into a crazed state. So, I mean, both him and the book went into a berserk mode situation. Yeah. And when that happened, we saw the Book of Vanitas shooting out purple bolts of lightning. We never seen the book do that before, so that was something new. As well as when that started happening, our girl Dominique started popping the fuck off. And she started using the freeze powers that her sister has. my question is, if you could do this the whole time, where were you hiding this? Like, nobody knew that Dominique had this power.
Where the fuck was this? I mean, it probably could have been theorized that was the case.
Correct, because her sister has it as well. But
yeah, regardless, we could have used that. We just came a country where it was covered in snow.
We could have used that.
We could have used that.
We could have.
But man, regardless of the fact though, she did what she needed to do, and basically ended the overall fight. I want to say like then, because basically all the vampires that Noe had, that Mikhail had summoned became trapped by the ice.
Correct. But then after that, we got another major reveal, everybody, and once again, your boy was right. Your boy was right. So, what is that reveal, you ask? Good old teacher, Noe's mentor, popped up and popped out some type of fucking portal, goddammit. Never seen this type of portal before, revealed in Vanitas. It was new looking. But anyways, he popped out his portal, and he was up to no good. Like I said, we still don't know what the hell he doing. But the matter of fact is, the teacher is up to no fucking good. Mm-hmm. So, your thoughts on that, McMillian?
Him being up to no good?
Him being up to no good.
When you first brought it to my attention, that might have been the case, I was like, you know what? It makes sense. The way he popped up out that portal with his two different colored eyes and his monotone voice and him just being like, "What's good, everybody? You remember me? I'm such and such and such and such." Yeah, I can see it. That's kind of I just want to know. I wonder, was he always this cold and like maniacal, or not maniacal, but more so just cold and evil, I guess, since the jump, or did something happen that caused it? Yeah, because it seemed like he was very at peace with killing his nephew when it happened. So I'm like, was that the jumping point, or was it before then? Because it seems like, I don't know, Noe's teacher seems to have some type of high status within the Vampire Society. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like he's an enemy per se of the vampire world, but it doesn't seem like he necessarily is an ally either. So I wonder how this will evolve as we go, because he did save Mikhail as well. So I'm like, are you all bad, or is like, what are your motivations? What is your goal here?
Yeah. No, I'm wondering the same thing, because we didn't get any other confirmation on what he's doing besides the fact that he saved Mikhail, like you just said. But one other thing we learned today, it was apparently at one point or another, Vanitas met him, but in a different form, and he gave a name. But this is a thick name. I don't know if you want to try and pronounce this one.
So I'm probably gonna butcher this. So excuse me, I'm not French. Comte de Saint Germain was the name that he gave. I don't know if that's what he goes by, but he also, if you look up this guy on Google, I mean, granted, he said all these titles in there, so you don't have to worry about it, but he's also referred to as teacher by Noe, grandfather by Dom and her brother, who is deceased, and the shapeless one. Which were all named in this one episode. All of these names in this one ass episode. This man is evil, and he has a whole bunch of honorifics, so he should not be trifled with. Is the thing I took from all of that.
Listen, I've told you the man shouldn't be messed with when he was already looking into the Book of Vanitas. I knew that was red flag number one, because while you're looking into this book, everybody, like we mentioned, everybody, all the other vampires seem to be scared of it, but for some reason, you are here researching it. Some ain't right with you. But I have another small little theory, if you will. So after we got the reveal of the teacher today, we got to see his eyes, one pink, one blue, and his eyes very resemble Myr's. And I'm not saying he is Myr, but I think he might be using Myr to spy on Vanitas and Noe.
I did not connect that dot. But the moment you happened, you unlocked the door and busted in. It was like, hey Jay, this shit. Pay attention.
Because that's another that might because that also might entail the reason why Murr be acting weird and just always he's always there but whenever danger happens he's like he disappears, but then after the danger stop he just reappears all safe and shit, and so he could be controlling Murr, or Murr is like a extension of him in some type of way.
So you saying that made me think he could be a familiar of Noi's teacher, because the thing is in the flashbacks that we get of Noi as a child / teenager, we never see Murr.
Correct.
We only see Murr currently, him as an adult, and it is interesting because if that is Noi's cat, who gifted it to him? And because that would explain a lot. And now it's with the whole thing with the eye thing, it could be very much so that he is using part of his powers to conjure Murr and look through it at times to spy on Noi and Vanitas. It's
So yeah. Now, I was trying to think if I saw the color of his blue eye anywhere in like anybody. I couldn't think of anything. It doesn't resemble the Luna blue at all, so I couldn't make that connection. But
that's a big one though. That's implications, because what like Noi is just in a decoy, I guess, to this to just learning about the Book of Vanitas. If he's just gonna have Murr as well watch. Because that either implies that he does not fully trust Noi and reporting back to him, or
because
there's something more than just the Book of Vanitas that he would like to
because
observe.
We also know that Murr isn't always with Noi at all times as well. Mm-hmm. So he could be having Murr doing other stuff when he's not with Noi. You know what I mean? So it's just listen. We didn't get confirmation today, but that's just when I actually saw his face and I saw his eyes, I was like, is he using Murr? Like,
that's good. So, that's good, because cats do usually be extra in anime. I'm
telling you, it's just something I always had a suspicion about Murr, but then when I saw the teacher, I was like, yeah, I think that's there you go right there. There it is. But moving on from there, so yeah, the teacher popped up and he came and retrieved Mikhail and walked back into his little portal that he made. Once again, we never seen this type of portal before. It was almost like a veil of black mist that popped up, and it was a crack in the veil as well. And but he walked through it, and no way and Vanitas, of course, they tried to stop him, but a bolt of yellow lightning came out and it stopped them from walking in.
Yeah.
We end that scene with them being knocked out and Noah waking back up at the hotel. He goes to the roof and finds Vanitas up top, and lo and behold, who else is up there? Mikhail,
yeah.
So at this point, Mikhail just wants to know, was he the reason why Luna died? But he was not. And so we got some new information today. So apparently the reason why Vanitas killed Luna was because somebody stole Luna's true name.
Yes.
We do not know who it is. He did not say if it was Nania or not. We do know Nania is going around stealing true names, but it hasn't been confirmed if she was the one who stole Luna's true name, which begs the question if it wasn't Nania out here stealing Luna's true name, then who the hell is it? Because as far as we know, Nania is the only person who has that power.
Nania and I guess the group of mass known as Charlatan. But it is interesting because it does seem like, all you need to do to curse a vampire is like corrupt their true name. So it'd be interesting to see who else has that ability. And Vanitas seems to think that it might be someone else of the Blue Moon clan, because they seem to be the only people that have access to these books that can either cure or curse someone. So I'm wondering, will we get a reveal of a big bad that is related to Luna, the original Blue Moon vampire, or will it be something else entirely that we don't expect at all? Because I'm also wondering, because we got in the ways back when Nania was revealed to be a body part of Frederica, the Crimson Queen.
Faustina.
Faustina. I said Frederica. My bad. Thank you. Thinking of got the 86. Faustina. who is regarded as the first vampire of the Crimson Moon, which is the opposite of the Blue Moon. Maybe that the Crimson Moon, the fact that like the Crimson Moon people are making up Nania, like Faustina's Nania. Maybe they have some tie to cursing as well, considering that after Faustina died, her body parts became these curse-bearing beings.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot going on in Luna's death, as well as besides the fact that these books and Vanitas, it seems like there could be something in regards to Faustina's death and other just goings on within the vampire world.
Correct. I know how you mentioned earlier that between the Crimson Moon vampires and the Blue Moon vampires might be like a coin flip type situation going on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of them derived from the others, because we don't know which one came first, whether it been the Blue Moon or the Crimson vampires. That was never explained to us. We just know one day somebody was messing with the war formula and boom, they made vampires. We don't even know if the vampire was made that originally got made was either Crimson or Blue Moon. So that's another thing we gotta take into consideration.
Definitely, but it just seems like those two are very prevalent within vampire society. So it's like, what's going on with those families? What are y'all doing? What is the key here?
Correct. But at this point, I guess that before I get to the rest of the stuff, because everything now I have to talk about is off topic of the episode. But to end the episode, Vanitas tells Mikhail, that the reason why he killed Luna, which we just explained. And then also we found out that every time both Mikhail and Vanitas use the Book of Vanitas, they're slowly becoming non-human, turning it into something else. So it's slowly transforming them, as well as maybe, one day they're going to go crazy. And Vanitas makes a statement that, if I have to die one day, if somebody has to kill me, I want nowhere to be the one who's going to kill me. Yeah. We got a nice little touching moment between Vanitas and Noe after that.
Every friendship has that moment where if you need to die, you tell your best friend that you want it. You want them to be the one to do it.
Correct.
It really solidifies a bond in anime only, not in the real world. I'm not condoning you killing your friends in real life. Please, just go to a doctor.
But and then that's basically the end of the episode, because after that, the only thing that happens is the Doms pop up and they start talking to Vanitas and Noe, and then you see Vanitas and Noe just look into the sky, and in credits.
In season 1.
In season 1.
Close season 1.
But that's the episode. But one question that I did ask, since now season 1 is finally over with and everything, we finally got the reveal of the teacher. Do you think not the reveal of him, but we know he's doing bad shit now. But do you think he's working with Nania, or do you think he's working by himself?
I think,
or with a completely new force.
I think either it's by himself. It's him and Mikhail doing whatever the fuck they need to do, or he has his own grander plan or scheme wrapped up in all this, that he wants to observe these two boys that are basically descendants, are the only known descendants of the Blue Moon clan that they have, as well as the fact that they both have the books of the
Vanitas.
Yeah, books of Vanitas. So it has some. He's obviously super interested in the Blue Moon clan and everything that has regards to with them, but it doesn't seem like he has anyone helping him. Like, he sent away his only student. His grandchild has no idea where the fuck they was at all. So, and even like Janae recognized him as well, but it didn't seem like she had seen him in a very long time. So it doesn't seem like he's in contact with anybody within anybody of significance, at least within the vampire world. So I'm thinking he's doing something. He's doing some like lone wolf type of
doing some lone wolf type situation.
Like, I think he might be manipulating people, like such as Mikhail, but I don't think he really has any partner
or anything. Okay, so you think it's just all him?
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think it's like Ruthven. Ruthven has a gang of people working for him, obviously. Yeah. But I don't. This guy to me feels like he's like one of those characters that like I have people working for me. They just don't know it.
They just okay, all right. So what you think is one of them type situations? Okay, yeah. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because, no, it's just a lot to think. No, season's over with, so we got a lot of stuff to theorize about now. And one of the things we was theorizing about that maybe the Clockwork Fiend was the one who saved Mikael, but that totally got debunked with this episode. So ain't no telling what the hell the Clockwork Fiend is now doing at this point.
The other guy who's interested in Astromite. So yeah, we got a lot of open-ended stuff, like such as we got to see the Queen for the first time. We now know that the Luna was cursed, and that is what led Vanitas to basically go after curse bearers because he's trying to figure out who
did it,
who basically started all this. And we have the Clockwork Fiend and Noise Teacher. Those loose ends, and then upon all of that, at any point in any moment, we could get another crazy cursed vampire out there like the Beast of Gavendon that they have to go help. So there's a lot of shit that they could do come next season, and I'm excited for it.
Correct. Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. Any other? I guess we can get to some of that stuff a little bit later. But so we're gonna move on to some dislikes now. Me personally, I don't have any dislikes for this episode. How about you, McMillian?
Me neither. I thought they did well with continuing and finishing off on the climax of last episode. I don't have anything. Just the only thing I guess you could even consider nitpick. We brought it up. Dom, where the fuck was that? Where the fuck was all that sauce before? You know, share that shit with the rest of us. Goddamn,
I feel you on that. Yes, we need more of that from you, Dominique. From this point on, I need to see Dominique in battles. Like she need to be tagging along.
Yeah, I was about to say she be on my roster. Goddamn, like
she need to be tagging along. But so moving on from there, we're gonna hop into some favorite scenes from this episode, everybody. So it's probably pretty clear what are some of my favorite scenes already. But started off, Dominique popping the fuck off. That entire sequence was just amazing. Because for the fact, like you said, what was this? But then two, that she just really just popped the fuck off. So I mean, hey.
Yeah, a good, and what's cool about that as well, if you want to like take it a little even further, but before she even brought out her powers, she had an inner monologue talk with a version of herself that was younger and her brother, basically insinuating the fact that you've been holding yourself back all this time because you haven't seen yourself as like, you just been down on yourself. You've always seen yourself as this kid who couldn't save their brother, couldn't do this for Noi, couldn't be all these things, when in reality you're a full realized person. You just haven't allowed yourself to be that. And I that along with the use of her ability just really defined that moment, and I thought Brett was a good, like, just a good growth moment for Dom as well. So
with that being said, do you think she just unlocked her powers at that moment, or because you think she could do this?
I think I'm only going to say that I think she could have done this earlier because she was just too prepared in the way she used it now. Like, for this to be your first time using this shit. So,
I mean, listen, if it's to save Noe, ain't nothing off the table.
Yeah, I was like, so I'll say that, but I could have think she'd been holding herself back simply because she didn't believe in herself.
Okay.
And how to use these abilities. Because it's not I feel like that's not the first time we've seen a storyline like that where in anime someone was holding themselves back because they were either A, scared of their powers, or B, just didn't believe
in themselves.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Any favorite scenes from you, sir?
So besides that one, my other one was the way that Noi's teacher pulled up and left. Like, I think we talked about it before that there would probably be no other like thing that rivals Faustina's reveal.
Yeah,
that didn't rival it. But I was like, when he came out, like when he showed up, I paid like you. For me, I felt myself straighten up and paying attention more because I'm who the fuck is this? And what the hell did you just do? Because like, where did you weren't here before? I don't think they've ever shown a vampire having the ability to teleport yet, except for the one time with Ruthven, with the one of the Ruthven's lackeys, I think like popped in and popped out real swift. But I was like, that might be something to do with like Nanya's powers and all that, rather than a vampire ability. oh, excuse me. But for that was just that whole sequence of him just like, I'm gonna take this child. Fuck you guys. Leave. And they were like, hold on. He shot and lightning shot out and back. I'm like, what are your abilities? Who are you? You're interesting. You're interesting, and we might have to fight you. I want to know more. So
yeah,
that was
what? No, I'm glad you brought that up. Do you think we now have to fight the teacher at this from this point?
I think that, like I said, I think that this is a major player. I don't know if he's a villain yet, but he definitely is a cold motherfucker. And I just feel like at some point, our group is gonna the group's main characters or even a side character is going to have to come across this person, and we're going to see exactly why people don't fuck with him or are surprised when he shows up. So yeah, I think at some point someone might have to come to blows with Noah's teacher, because I feel like the way stuff is shaping out to be, he might be on a side all his own, so he might get opposition not only from our main cast but also from like Ruth, Nanny and Ruthven's people. So
okay, all right.
Okay. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot to look forward to. I don't believe you have any other favorite scenes, right?
No, I don't believe I have any other favorite scenes. So with that being said, we'll move on to the rating for this episode. And I'm teetering between an 8 and a 9.
I gave this one a 9.
Okay.
For the simple fact of, I felt like this was teetering on a must-watch episode. If you combine the last episode and this episode, it probably gets a 10 out of me. But if I'm just going off pure separation, there is a moment, I feel like, in this episode where it just kind of, like, I think it was like right after everything was over. It was a weird transition from like fight to downtime that just kind of throws you for a second. It's very small. I'm not even so small that I didn't even include it in a dislike. But I'll say, like, if it may take a point away from it from being like a 10. But overall, everything in this episode I really enjoyed. I thought it was good character growth moments. It makes me excited to see what's coming if they have a season 2, and if they don't, I'm definitely probably going to start reading because I'm invested with these characters at this point. It gave a lot of answers, but those answers prolonged even more questions, which is kind of what you want from a series like this. You definitely want to try and figure out for yourself like what might be going on beforehand, and I felt like they gave people enough to be like, all right, here's that information, but also this some shit you didn't know that also requires you to go look more. So yeah. I felt like that was good and played upon it a lot. It's just there's some that's like stopping me from being like, oh, this is you gotta watch this episode. Like, if anything, I mean,
like, my opinion, if you watch the Case Study Of Vanitas, this is definitely much watch as a watcher of the show. But
for me, it's like I don't know. Like, 10s to me are like, regardless of the doubt, before you die, you need to watch this motherfucker. And this doesn't necessarily sprint to me, but if for a series, yes. So that's why I was like 9.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay. No, I agree. But yeah, like you already mentioned, they answered a lot of stuff this episode with as well, but they left us with a lot of stuff to think and theorize about. I know what, I'm gonna agree with you as well. Hopefully we do get a season 2, but if not, this will be one of the first mangas I pick up as well. Because they're not just gonna do me like this. Like I gotta see how this story ends. They just not gonna do me like this. So hopefully we do get the season 2 announcements within the coming month or two here soon. They normally don't take that long if there is gonna be another announcement. So hopefully we get it soon, so I don't have to go read, and so our boy McMillian here don't have to go read, and he spoils us reviewing the Case of Vanitas on this episode on this show. But yeah. So overall, the Case of Vanitas, season 1 is now over with. What do you give the season overall?
I'll probably give it a... Meaning
from episode 1 to episode 24.
I would probably give this like an 8.5 to a 9. Very solid. Very solid. Very much a thing I would recommend someone without like a second thought.
I agree.
It's not the most unique thing, but what it does well, it does really well. Like what it you can't fault it. It has really good story, it has good characters, and it always finds a way to make you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
While even in the middle of like dark subject matter, it does it. I don't know how, but it does, and it had some really great set pieces and moments. Like that Faustina reveal, that's gonna stick with me.
Yeah,
for a long time. Like
yeah,
that was just dope, and also the art, like the animation and art style is really striking and beautiful as well. So,
I was just about to say, so I would agree before I get to that, but I would agree as well. I would give it at least a solid 8 for the season overall. But the Case Study of Vanitas has some of the best visualizations I've seen in anime as far as just getting those perfect still shots and those perfect frames. The Case of Vanitas does it very, very well. Like there's so many different stills that we just used in like regular promotions and stuff like that we got from the Case of Vanitas is just so fucking well. Like that one,
just striking.
The one shot like where Chloe was talking to Nania and you see her go like her body turn fully black and she get those red eyes. Like that shot is so fucking beautiful. Like I love that shot alone, along with many other shots from the show. But that shot, like that's one of my favorites from this show, and so many others. Like the visualization is top notch in this anime.
One that's kind of simple, but I really enjoy. That happened last episode when Noe was about to bite Vanitas, and you see our innocent, usually ball of joy character as a monster.
Yeah,
because they like you just see red eyes, nothing but fangs, and him about to go for the kill.
Yeah,
it was striking. Like Vanitas is really good at creating those.
They are
standout moments.
They are. They really are. So this is the end of the Case of Vanitas being featured on this show, everybody. Season 1 is now done. It is now out. This is your recommendation from Ace and McMillian to, if you have not seen this, but for whatever reason you're listening to us talk about it, go watch it.
Watch it.
It's definitely an 8 out of 10. Probably a 9 out of 10. About it. But it's at least a solid 8. Yes, tell your friends about it. This is definitely one of those, once again, it wasn't on nobody's radar, but this is definitely one of those hidden gems that was when it first started airing as well. So I would we definitely recommend this one. Go give it a chance. And with that being said, we're going to head on to our next anime for today. We're going to be talking about some Attack on Titan, everybody. Attack on Titan, episode 87, The Dawn of Humanity. And as we mentioned earlier in our council announcements, this is the last episode of part 2 of the final season. Still can't believe we're getting a part 3, but we already discussed our dislike about that. So,
moving forward.
moving forward. Starting with major events, what we learned. So, this episode was majority a flashback episode with Mikasa just going through her memories, asking herself where did she miss the signs about Eren being the way he is.
Mm-hmm. We see what led to him becoming what he now currently is, this guy who's hell-bent on destroying everybody else except the people of the island.
Correct. So we see the group go to the continent of Marley. At this point, Sasha was still alive, so we got to see more Sasha today, thankfully. Mm-hmm. They met up with Onyaka Capone. I can't believe I pronounced that correctly for the first time. They met up with old boy, and they was just touring the city. When they first get there, they acting fucking crazy because they never seen
cars, ice cream, none of that. None of that.
So they're just acting like little children in a festival. So that was also a nice little touching moment.
Yeah, and it was good because it really accentuates the fact that, like, hey guys, while we're killing Titans, these are also like teenagers to young adults still, and they haven't had the best life, but they can still enjoy themselves. And unfortunately, that touching moment is ruined because
ruined very quick.
The Marleyans decided to be fully racist. 100% just full on Ku Klux Klan's level of racism.
So the reason why the gang is here is because they're here to meet the Ozma Bito and hopefully have them help them establish better relations with the people of Marleyan. But as McMillian just said, that might be not the case because they clearly do not like the subjects of Ymir, because there was this one kid stealing not pockets, he was pickpocketing people, and they started spouting a whole bunch of stuff that, like, he might be a subject of Ymir. We should hang him, we should kill him, and put him up to where everybody can see him. We gotta make an example out of this young little motherfucker
of these island devils.
Yeah.
And they were like, it got so bad because Levi was the one who caught him, and he was like, "Oh shit! In reality, this is actually this guy." All I said was, "This wasn't his purse. He was stealing from his older sister." Ha ha! Jokey joke, right?
Correct.
Unfortunately, that didn't really work for them, so they had to they ran immediately, after stating that, and we get the meeting they had with the Asamabitos, basically kind of explaining the situation within Marley and how difficult it'll basically be if they want to try and
establish good relations.
Yeah, establish peaceful relations between the island and the rest of the world, considering how ingrained the hate for them is. This leads to basically just the whole group, Han stating, I know it's be impossible, but we'd still have to try.
Correct. And then before you go too far, I just want to touch on the point you just made, how deep ingrained the hate is for that Marleyans, well, not just Marleyans, that the rest of the world have for the subjects of Ymir. The hate is so deep that they're actually starting blood testing their civilians, looking for subjects of Ymir, because apparently a few of them had actually started escaping the camps that they were put in and stuff like that, and so they trying to weed them out. They not playing. They are not playing.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's messed up, but it's kind of crazy because it's such a good depiction of stuff that that happened like that in history. With I don't want to get too dark on this episode, but if you've opened up a history book, you can find a couple of examples. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But after the talk with the Asamabitos, Mikasa finds herself looking for Eren, and we discover that Eren found basically the refugee camp in which the boy they had saved was staying at. They Eren and the group get invited to basically just enjoy a night out with them, and it's such a good, heartwarming event that happens. They get drunk, they party all night long with everybody in the camp. Even Levi and Hans joined in. It's so funny to think Levi joined in. No. Sorry,
they found them.
They didn't. They found them later that next morning.
Yeah,
hungover.
They had so much fun that when they first went there, they were skeptical about the whole situation, but then they started having fun to the point where they left to go get more drinks and came back to keep partying.
Yeah. And it was just a great moment to just remind you. These are people. At the end of the day, regardless of whatever crazy shit they're dealing with, the fact that they can shift into Titans, these are first and foremost just people who want to have a good time.
Correct. Also, in this episode, we got a rare smile out of Eren today.
Yeah, we haven't seen that since season 1.
Maybe, yeah, since season 1, maybe.
Shit.
I don't even know if we've seen a smile out of Eren in season 1, to be honest with you.
Goddamn, I didn't even. Goddamn.
Because season 1, episode 1, the show starts off with Eren looking and realizing that shit's going down, and we go from there to him always, I'm gonna kill all Titans.
I didn't think about it, but I think the only reason I think he might have smiled in season 1. Now we're going on a tangent, but I'm gonna just close it. Was he was making friends in the barracks of the Recon Corps.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he smiled at one other point or another.
I'm just saying, but that's a good point, though, because I'm like, fuck, after that, were there smiles?
Oh, man, yeah, so a very real smile from Eren today. But, so after that, they go to a court hearing that is being held inside the city that they're staying at, and somebody is trying to basically get aid for refugees of subjects of Ymir, and his main, I guess, point, if you will, was that these people aren't Eldians. They don't believe in the Eldians' way of living and stuff like that. He even went to the point of saying that they're not even Eldians by choice. They was forced to interbreed with the Eldians because of the Eldian Empire. And so that's basically how he's trying to make his case to get aid for the subjects of Ymir. And then he even made a statement saying our true enemies are the Island Devils. And at that point, they knew that, yeah, we're probably not going to be able to establish good relations.
Well, it seemed like most of the people in there were like, well, it's going to be a really hard time. But we see from Mikasa's perspective where she's looking around for Eren, and he fully on after that moment just leaves. He doesn't even want to listen to the rest of any of the court proceedings or anything like that. And basically, from that point, we get a a montage of events that basically show us everything that led up to Eren enacting the plan he did, such
Correct.
as
So yeah, I just want to mention that was the point that Eren left them, and the last time they met back up with him was when he was attacking the city of Marley.
Yes. But just to go over those events briefly, because we could discuss them. It showed from after it showed his meeting with Yelena, everything she explained, and then we unfortunately got the confirmation that he did in fact trust all this shit to Floch. Probably because he knew Floch was going to be the dick rider that he is. I
hate that he was telling the truth.
I do too. God damn, I hate Floch. Regardless, yeah. From there, we then get to see basically Eren talk with
Historia.
I think I was about to say Helena, and I was like, that's not right. Historia, and basically tell her that basically you should go along with this plan that I'm thinking of. But Historia fights back and like, look, man, if we do this, we're killing innocent people, and I can't get along with it. And Eren is like, but if we don't, we're just gonna constantly trying to keep forcing our children to become soldiers that have to keep at bay the Marleyans, and eventually it's not gonna work. We need to focus on basically keeping ourselves and us alive, because if not, the next person they're going to force to basically to continue this fight or whatever is going to be your kid, and I don't think you want to be forced into doing that. And it puts Historia in a compromised situation where it's like, fuck, well, if I have a baby, will this stop? And now I'm wondering, based on the fact of how this season started, where they were talking about how Historia got knocked up by some random person, was it in fact a random dude now?
Yeah, it might have been Eren. That might be Eren.
Seems that might be the Attack Titan Jr., if you will.
Yeah, it might be him.
It might be Royal Jaeger. And again, what are your thoughts on that, Ace?
That is wild. Because like I said, it was wild to get that reveal when we first started the season with Historia being pregnant, but then now we just got this scene right here where we got the confirmation that Eren might be that baby daddy. And that's crazy, because if he is Historia's baby father, what does this mean for the whole Mikasa and Eren type ship going on? I think the Mikasa and Eren shippers might be a little upset about this situation here. But other than that, I think Historia technically always liked Eren to a certain extent, so I don't think it was weird for her to ask him that. So
for me, it's just wow, to be like, let's make a child so genocide doesn't happen. Is one of the wildest things.
Genocide having a baby. Genocide having a baby. I don't know. If you look at the logical thing, if having a baby can stop genocide, yes, I think that's a small price to pay.
It's a small price to pay. I'm just like, but immediately after this is the goal here. This is what we're doing. It was just, oh man, that would be like, talk about the most unattractive conversation.
I feel you, but I think that definitely would be a small price to pay.
I guess, yeah.
But it is wild though. It is wild as fuck though. I agree. It is wild.
Yeah. From that point moving forward, we then get the reveal that the fact that the odds. Well, Eren talks to the Ackerman reveal of Eren talking to his brother and basically going over the fact that Ackermans aren't, while they are them motherfuckers, they are the guys. Apparently, they don't have any imprinting type situation where they have to feel where they're bound to protect someone just because like it's in their DNA.
Yeah.
It's just apparently Mikasa, as we all know, just really likes Eren. Just wants to protect them. So it seems like Eren used that the dissuasiveness of Mikasa for some reason. I guess we'll find out later what that reason is, why he lied to her, and why he lied to her and Armin. And last, I'm struggling to remember, what was the last one, or was that it?
No, that's it.
That was it. Okay, yeah.
We get to the final scene,
and then we get to the best, the answer to this episode. So if you're following us on Twitter or Instagram, I posted a meme about this a while ago. Maybe we could like put it on the screen or whatever. That basically is like the rumbling titans aren't big enough really to walk across the ocean. So how does this work? Them motherfuckers swim. them where's my camera? Them niggas. Them motherfuckers swim.
Yo, let me tell you, when I was seeing this, so let me paint the picture for you. So, just give you an example. So, they have amassed a global fleet to stop the rumbling because, of course they have, they're going to attempt to stop it. But, so they're waiting for the rumbling to actually get to them, and all you see is a cloud of smoke starting to come towards them. And then I was like, okay, here come the Titans, we're going to see them walking through the water. Next thing you know, they shoot off a volley of missiles. And I'm like, they didn't hit shit. And you see the missiles landing in the water, and you just see the Titans swimming through the water. And I looked, I'm like, these motherfuckers can swim?
They not only were they swimming through the water, when they got hit by the thing, they were reforming in the water as well. So it was just, it was a fruitless effort on everybody's part.
These motherfuckers can swim?
But, Exactly. But let me illustrate why this is so much instrumental further. The moment the Titans swim past the fleet, under, if you will, the steam that was rising from their bodies, I guess of them being in the water, obliterates the entire fleet. People disintegrate into ash and flip the things over. It is checkmate, motherfucker. I really don't know how our Attack on Titan Avengers are gonna win this.
These motherfuckers can swim.
Yes.
And destroy shit about no slow. These motherfuckers was zooming through the water like a damn dolphin or some shit.
They learned from Michael Phelps himself. Goddamn, that's how well they were.
I was just so flabbergasted when I saw that, and I'm just like, ain't no way. And like, I was wondering, like, Hans was talking like, they moving at a fast pace and shit. I'm like, well, I guess it would consider be a fast pace if even the ocean don't stop them. But shit, these motherfuckers are swimming.
But let's say, like I said before, we now have landfall, people, and the people of Marley are fucked because not only do we see the Fountain Titans, well, not the Fountain, excuse me, I just spoiled it. We see Eren in all his eldritch god glory. It's a big motherfucker.
Yeah. He is here big, to fuck up shit.
Scary motherfucker. And I'm really wondering what like I said it before, a Thunder Spirit ain't gonna do shit to that.
Listen, I've said it before. The only chance they have is to hope that Zeke's body is just somewhere out in the open on that goddamn thing to where they can kill him with a Thunder Spirit. That's the only hope they have. That's the only hope they have.
Kill Zeke, separate the connection?
Yes.
Maybe, hopefully that'll work. I am flabbergasted to think of what else could work for them.
We'll get into a little bit of this later when we get to the episode rating. But so moving on from there, that's the end of our episode, everybody. I will say we also got the return of the original OST soundtrack.
Yes.
So that was nice as well. But anyways, moving on from there, we're gonna head to some dislikes here. I didn't have a dislike other than fuck Flosh, and it's really fuck Flosh now because I'm pissed that this motherfucker was right and telling the truth that Eren actually told him to plan. But other than fuck Flosh, I don't have any dislikes for this episode. For me, it's not big one, so please guys keep your fists or your weapons to yourselves. It's just that I felt like at some point the exposition, the cut from Marley to just all the Eren like
this is why genocide needs to happen. Exposition was just like really, it kind of just happened. It didn't feel like there was like a partway segue into it. It was just like, here it is. That's it to the end of the episode. Now, it wasn't the worst thing. It just felt discombobulated. It just felt disjointed.
This will be a rare time where I have to disagree with you on that. For me, I think the connection was made pretty damn well because, like we said during the council hearing, Mikasa mentions it. That was the last time we saw Eren, and we never saw that motherfucker again until. But I'm just saying,
Marley. Hey, and it's fine. Disagreement's gonna happen. I'm just saying, from my perspective, it just was like, here it is.
I hear you, and I'm just saying,
and not like a just smooth of like this is the information. But
I hear you.
That it's a very small because in the grand scheme of things, I still think it pulled it off very well. I'm just saying, like, I felt like it could have been better. Is all my own thing.
I agree.
But when you are working on 7 different projects at the same time, shit is bound to fuck up somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from there, we're going to hop into some favorite scenes. And as you probably already saw from my amazement, the fact that these motherfuckers can swim, that was one of my favorite scenes. But that shit blew my mind. Like, McMillian mentioned it earlier. Like, the fact, why didn't we think of this earlier? Like, why didn't we make this connection that they even the realm of the possibility that they could swim, because they basically just giant humanoids. But I didn't even once even think or fathom that these motherfuckers could swim.
In my wildest dreams, did I ever think that they would be hitting the goddamn dolphin kick like they
because
were?
My thing, like when I used to watch, like when I first started watching Attack on Titan and shit, like back years ago. One of my things was, I figured that if the only way you would be safe from these motherfuckers if you go across the ocean or some shit. This whole season just said, fuck no, you're not even safe across the ocean. Not because we big enough to walk across it, because we can fucking swim.
Because we have the motion in the ocean, truly, to murder you.
Like, that shit was wild. And then, like, it was just even more wild that they weren't swimming slow. Like he said, they had the motion with the floation going through there, and I'm just like, hey, how can you stop this? How can you feasibly stop this?
You don't. And I see now why all the motherfuckers are scared. I'd be scared. I don't know if I'd be racist, but I'd be scared. Yeah, no, that was one of my favorite scenes. Well, my favorite scene is an extension of that. Basically, seeing that happen and then seeing that it's also a weapon. Because when they, like I said before, when they passed that fleet, it not only melted everybody that was on the boats, it also flipped the boats over.
Which
so
them
just approaching land is a weapon, is a deterrent.
Do you know how fast they had to be going for their wind to be able to knock over the entire fleet? Like, they had to be moving fast. Like,
it was. Well, I mean, I think it was a combination of them moving fast and how many of them there were.
Well, yeah, to the point where. But I mean, even if it was a lot of them, if they're not moving fast enough to make the wind, strong enough to push that, yeah. Like, yeah, everybody would still got evaporated, but the steam wasn't to flip the boats like that. For the boats to get flipped like that. They had to be moving pretty damn fast.
It's fucking ridiculous. And the biggest travesty of this all is that they want us to wait a fucking half a year for the final season.
We're going to get to that a little bit more.
But
any other favorite scenes from you?
Besides that, just the final reveal of Eldridge Eren.
Okay.
That shit was perfect. Because you get the Titans, you approaching land, and the Marleyan soldiers being like, fuck it, I don't get paid enough for this shit. I'm about to go hug my kids. And then behind the regular Colossal Titans, you get this giant Spinal Taps looking demon thing that's like, well, if you don't die to them, guess what?
I'm gonna keep it a boat with you.
I'm here.
If I was on land, I wouldn't even have waited for them motherfuckers to start coming out the water. After I saw them destroy the entire fleet, I'm leaving. Because if they couldn't stop them, what the hell do you think we gonna do?
Exactly. No, I felt the exact same way. I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, now run. Don't shoot. What's shooting gonna do? The other people shot.
They had bigger guns than what we got. So if their guns didn't work, what the hell you think these guns gonna do? I'm leaving. It's the first sight I see of one boat getting flipped, I'm out of there.
Like, there's a difference between bravery and stupidity. And stupidity was sitting there thinking that the cannon that you have was better than the cannon on the ship.
Yeah, and it is a fuck no, sir. But my last favorite scene from this episode was at the very beginning when the gang gets to Marley, and you just see them, everybody freaking out over the ice cream and the cars and stuff like that. That was nice. Just it was hilarious. It was funny as hell. It even took
the exact opposite of how this episode ended.
Levi made a statement. It was like, you better go catch them because, you know, they might try and feed
a carrot
feed the carrots. And Oyokapon was like, they're not going to do that. And then he looks back. He was like, oh, they're buying carrots.
They're actually doing it. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was just hilarious.
Like I said before, that was a great levity moment to the exact opposite of what we got at the end of this episode.
But all right, and so we're going to hop into the rating for this episode now. And in my opinion, this is at least a solid 8. I don't like this thick ass flashback that they had to do, but it was needed. Like, I understand why it's here. But me personally, I just don't think. I don't like it, in my opinion. But
would you feel that way if there was another episode coming after this? Who knows?
Maybe. I think that's the reason why I don't like it like that, because this is the last episode, and
for a good minute.
I think honestly, that's the only reason why I really didn't like us getting that thick ass flashback. To be honest with you.
So for me, I also gave it an 8, but it's kind of just related to my dislike. I just felt like this was an exposition dump that kind of didn't have a good enough flow really for me. Coupled with the fact that this was what they planned to end the second core with, and then didn't announce that it was going to be a third core until the day of is a issue. Because I feel like if you did it earlier, I wouldn't be as upset as I am right now.
Like, no, but I'm
that combined, that I'm not gonna hold that too much against the episode, but overall, like, it was a good episode. It just had like some hiccups.
Yeah, no, it was a good episode. Yes, I agree.
It's just a big exposition dump, and those can that can go either good or bad. So that's kind of where I'm like at. But other than that, I thought it was a solid episode.
And I think the reason why I don't really like that flashback, because half of the exposition, like you said, it was mainly just an exposition dump episode, but half of that was just basically them enjoying themselves, which is not a bad thing. We don't have to see them fighting all the time, but I feel like you said that also plays into the fact that this was the last episode for this season as well, which also a reason why we probably upset that it was just a big exposition dump, because, you know, we're ready to see them fight the Founder Titan, you know. So
I mean, like, if it's because the thing is, until today we were thinking this was the last episode, so it's like, all right, well, you got to fight that motherfucker. So yeah, where that at? Oh, it's just a flashback episode. Cool. What the fuck?
Cool. It also threw me off though as well when the episode started, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And then I was like, "Oh, okay, it's a flashback episode." I was like, "Yeah," because I was thoroughly confused. I was like, "Is that Aaron? And is that such?" And then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, yeah, this is a flashback. All right, okay, I'm here. I'm here now. All right, I caught up." But solid 8. We touched upon this in our council announcements, but we are thoroughly upset that this season ended the way it ended, and that we're getting a part 3, because as we expressed during our council announcement, they should have just initially delayed the start of season 2 so they could have just did everything all at once. Because we have been on this final season for 2 to 3 years now, and this is starting to get ridiculous. Not only that, if you have somehow avoided spoilers just to get this, and then now we have to wait until 2023. Now you have to find a way to avoid spoilers again until the next part comes out.
And not only that, but Attack on Titan has been a long wait besides just the final season.
Correct.
Like, season 1 to season 2 was hella long, and then season 2 to season 3 was even longer of a time. Like,
correct.
So I just feel like at this point they tested our patience, and it's just it's kind of disrespectful. Really, to be quite truly honest.
No, I agree.
Because I really expected them to capitalize on a movie and it just come out near the end of this year.
Okay, well, a lot of people have been saying that, but do we realistically think AOT can pull off a movie though?
I mean, if it's canon, yes. I feel
even
like
if it's canon,
you don't think seeing the fall of the Founding Titan or whatever's going to happen could make a good movie climax?
It just depends, because I feel like there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be explained as well. That might not necessarily you can just fit into the movie.
First, I feel like the first 30 to the 30, 40, 50 minutes would probably be story. And then the last of it is them for trying to fight the Founding Titan and all the shit that's at the rumbling. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It might be better for it might be better for it to be episodic than it is to be
like a movie. So they can just fully flesh out everything they do. Because if they did it like a movie type situation, ain't no telling like what they would have had to cut out from the manga and stuff like that to actually, make it a movie. So
I mean, considering how well some anime movies have been doing, the canon ones, JJK and Demon Slayer, that from what I hear barely had anything cut at all. I just felt like it, why not? Especially with their their success and popularity. So, but I see what you're saying. It could go. It's a toss up either way.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I believe we are at the end. Since this is truly not the final part of this final season, we will not be giving a full synopsis rating.
We will not.
So with all that said, I don't think
one thing before you take us on out of here, before McMillian takes us on out of here, everybody. This weekend we will be releasing our next special episode number 6. We will be giving our recommendations for the fall 2021 anime season. Now I know
we late.
Yes, we are late, and we do apologize. But hopefully you still like it, and you still you still go watch it, because maybe you didn't watch some fall anime.
Yeah, it's some stuff to just look at that you might consider adding to your queue.
Correct. So, and also, with that being said, this will be the last episode of the winter 2022 season for the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. Our next episode 22, will be starting up our spring season. So be on the lookout for that. We don't have our spring lineup fully yet, but we'll be making our full spring lineup announcement on our social media. So if you follow us on social media, you can see our our spring lineup on there. And just be prepared for our winter 2022 recommendations. Hopefully we can get that one out faster than the fall 2021 recommendations, as well as we do still have our JJK Zero movie review coming up here soon. So be on the lookout for that as well. But with that being said, you go ahead and take us on out of here, McMillian.
All right, guys. As always, appreciate you for watching / listening. If you want to keep up to with all things that the council is doing, consider hitting up that subscribe button, giving us a like, as well as, if for my audio only listeners, following us on the platform and giving us a review so we can get out there to more people. Grow our council a bit. Appreciate you guys for always watching. If you want to find us on our social medias, on Twitter, we are at Gurren Otakus, and on Instagram, we are at Gurren Otaku Council. As always, guys, be safe, be happy, be healthy. We'll call it Council is meeting adjourned. Signing out. Peace.